Hello and welcome back to Brandywine Stitches. Today is September 3rd, 2024. It is a Tuesday, and yes, it's been 4 weeks since our last video, not 2. School season. What can I say? My 7-year-old started 2nd grade. This is her 2nd week of 2nd grade. Our school district starts the week before Labor Day. I know a lot of them start the week after, so a lot of kids are probably starting school today. We started last week, and in that, my 3-year-old is also changing from an in-home private daycare / preschool, and now we're changing him to a school calendar district-based preschool. So I don't know how else to really describe it. He's now going to be part of the school district that my daughter is in. They have a preschool program there called the Early Learning Center for the 3-year-olds and the 4-year-olds. So they have preschool and pre-K. And he is starting in the pre-3 preschool classroom because he's 3. So he'll be starting in the 3-year-old classroom tomorrow. Actually is his very first day of that. And there was a lot that I had to do in the last month to get both of them ready for school. But if you want to hear all about that, we'll save that for the end. I know most of you guys are here for the Stitchy and the Crafty projects, so we'll do those first, so that way you don't have to sit through all of my boring life talk if you don't want to. But if you like it, then hang around and we can catch you guys up at the end. So, 4 weeks. I should have had a lot of progress, right? Right? No. So my goals last time, I wanted to do the bottom portion of the crochet blanket where it says life finds a way. I didn't get that done. Most of it. So that was my goal. I wanted to have that done. And then I wanted to get the hanged tree stitches done and the July call for the Storybook Sal finished. I got 2 out of 3. But that's not bad, right? 2 out of 3 ain't bad, like Meatloaf says. So I did the 2 stitching ones. So Hangeds tree, we'll start there, I guess. She was on my WIPGO board for August. This is what she's supposed to look like. Again, I don't know my cardinal directions on here, so bear with me. So this is what she's supposed to look like when she is done. I still forget to take pictures to show you guys where we were last time, but I know last time I had to do, I think, 400 was my WIPGO goal, 400 stitches on her, so I ended up getting the 400 stitches done and put her at 0.39% completion. Sorry, my notes are on my lap. So this is, that got immediately washed out. Let me see. Kind of better. Okay, so, yes, right there. So, this is where we are at. I did my 400 stitches, which was basically right down here. So, this is a bird. I realize this is a bird, and this is the start of a branch. So, this is really, really cool. We're getting to start into a branch down here, which is really, really nice. We're getting some other more dark colors, not just these mottled blues all the time. So yeah, we've got these squares done is what I did. Got her to 0.39% completion. So we're working our way right along. I'm so happy. I love the fact that I found out that's a little bird. He was done previously, but I loved it. I thought it was just like a little wisp of a cloud or something. And I was looking at the pattern because I saw, where is it? These colors coming in, and there was so much of them down here. They're all highlighted. I'm like, what are we getting into? And so I pulled up the preview and looked at it. I'm like, oh, that's a bird, and that's the tree. How cool is that? So pull the picture back up. So way up in the top corner there, you guys can't see it, but like way up there in that top corner, there's a little speck of a bird and the low overhanging branches that come across. That's what we're working on, which is super, super, super cool. I'm excited. So now Hanged tree goes away for a little while, which is fine. So that was goal 1 done. Goal 2 for the 2-week mark was supposed to be doing the July section of the Storybook Sal. So I wanted, when I started this out, I was like, yeah, we're going to stay on top of it. We're going to make it done in the month it's called for and the month it's released. And I'm not 100% there. Summer's been busy. But I'm not falling really behind. So I'm not like super far behind. So last time you saw it, we had roughly this done. So we had these books here. There was like 4 of these books here. And we had this whole section done because this was May and June. And then this was part of July. Well, I finished July. So now we have the whole romance shelf done. Bring it in so you can see that. How cool is that? And see, guys? I told you. It says love right here. I got some hearts here. And, you know, the whole time I was stitching this, I was like, they really should have made this O a heart. Because it's love. Or even the O in romance. Like, one of those should have been the heart. I keep coming off camera, but there you guys go. I haven't started the September section or the August section yet, but I know that's going to be more stairs down here. So I'm just trying to find a block of time that I can dedicate to that. But there it is. Exciting, exciting. So yeah, I haven't done August and I haven't done September. But September did get released, so I know that from the brief peek I took when I was downloading the file, we're working on another section of the bookshelf. So we're working on a green bookshelf. I don't remember which one that's supposed to be, but that will be over there. I did probably 283 stitches on the lower portion of this bookshelf here when I showed it to you guys last time. And then I know that it was supposed to be like 1,200 something new stitches. And so now it's at 100% for July. I don't know where it's at for September, but I know the July section is 100% done. And so I probably did just about 1,000 stitches on this. And she was kind of the one that I was mostly drawn to, which was not ideal. Because then I ended up putting off Kiss of Wolves. And if you guys remember, I have a fight with the Kiss of Wolves. I love the picture. It's going to be beautiful. And it's going to be so worth it. Especially seeing it now. It's going to be worth it. But it's just a struggle to get there. I have to fight every step of the way to do it. Because there's just so much. There's so much confetti. It's a paper pattern, which I'm not used to doing anymore, and to make it worse, it's not just a paper pattern, it's a color and symbol paper pattern. So you have the colored blocks and the symbols on top of them, and some of the colors don't seem like they line up, but I know color theory, if you have like a gray next to a black, it looks dark, but if you have it next to the white, it looks very light, or vice versa. I didn't go to school for art, so don't quote me, but I know that depending on what the surrounding colors are, your main color can change of what you're thinking it, so that I know that's probably affecting it. So I just really wish this one I could get in a PDF, or at least be able to upload it to Markup RXP, so that way I could stitch it easier. I might get it done faster just to get it done, because it's not that big. It's only 40,000 stitches altogether. It's probably one of my smallest pieces, and if I put the work in, I could get it done. I know I could get it done. So WIPGO said I needed to get 400 stitches done on it. I did do it. I was 60 stitches late. So on August 31st, I had probably 340 roughly stitches that were completed on the Kiss of Wolves. And I was just exhausted. It was a Saturday. It was a very busy day. I'll get into all of that later. So I didn't end up finishing it. So I did go back and finish the 400 stitches. I made it complete. I didn't make it in the month of August, which means that I don't get my big reward at the end of the year. So a little sad about that. But we're talking about Kiss of Wolves. What does it look like? Like this. 2 wolves touching noses. So cute. And last time I said, hey, let's see, maybe I can get that ear done. I didn't get the ear done, but we're starting on it. So, and again, I didn't take a picture of where we were last time. It comes in a kit. So I'm trying to put the kit down. And I just realized I just set that right by the microphone. So I do apologize if there was a big crinkle. I'm so sorry, guys. All right, so here is where we are. So much noise. So, let's try and flop in front of us. We don't want that. Here's where we are. And a little washed out, but good. So there's our ear. Told you guys we started on the ear. There. And then this is the back of the wolf's neck right here. So that's really cool. So yeah, it looks, or not the back of his neck, that's the back of his head. Because then his other ear starts right here. So it looks really cool, and you can see what I mean. It's going to be beautiful. But just look at how many threads are here. Like, this is so much. Like, Mystic Mermaid, my big one on the scroll frame, isn't this bad. It probably is, but it doesn't feel like it. So, yeah. I got my 400 done on her, just a day late and $1 short, so. But I can say I did her. I got the stitches done. She got work done this year, which is really all I wanted. Bring you guys in for a close-up. How pretty. So, that is Kiss of Wolves. So, that is all of my cross-stitching. I'm going to turn this light off so I can stop being blinded. So, it's not a super crinkly bag, but I felt bad because it's by the microphone. So let's just get it out of the way. So, what has happened? So, again, school has happened. My 7-year-old is in 2nd grade. She was a little nervous for 2nd grade. She loves it now, which is great. Her teacher loves her, which, no surprise. This child just goes in and makes friends with everybody. She's not a child's child. She's an adult's child. She's fine. She's fine hanging out with kids. She has kids her own age that are her friends. But she seems to bond better with adults, which is very strange. And maybe I kind of did that. I don't remember that much. But, so she loves adults. She loved her 1st grade teacher. We had to, because I was getting my son set for preschool, I had like an orientation and a meet and greet we had to do on the same day that was the first day of school for my daughter. So I didn't get to go in with her like I did the last couple of years and actually meet the teacher, hear about the curriculum, which I know all of it. They've been in the same school district. So I knew none of it was going to be like, woo, big changes. Nothing in there that I was surprised about. But I didn't get to go in to meet her. So she came home with some paper in her backpack and I said, hey parents, you have a tiny bit of homework. Email the teacher. That way we can have your name and your phone number and your email. And I was like, all right, cool. So I emailed her, gave her my name, my phone number, who my daughter was. And when we had the school supply list and we were doing all the school shopping, it said that the 2nd graders needed a set of headphones that had their name on it. And I was like, well, my daughter's really big into a lot of different things. She likes Pokemon, she likes Bluey, she likes Disney. Her favorite Pokemon are Eevee and Pikachu, and I don't know if any of y'all have seen them in the store, but they have Pikachu headphones. They're yellow, and they have little Pikachu ears on them, and I saw them, like, 3 months ago, and I was like, if Rose ever needs headphones, like, I 100% want to get these for her because she's gonna freaking love them. So, when I saw that she needed headphones for school, I was like, well, can I get her the Pikachu ones? Like, can I get her some fancy pair of headphones? And also, like, everything adults use nowadays are wireless. Do the kids have to have a wireless headphone? Do they have to be wired? Like, what does it matter? I'm like, or do we have to just do plain so we don't have to worry about jealousy with the kids and, like, nothing happens? So I emailed her all about that. And then she emailed me back, headphones don't matter. So Rose got her Pikachu headphones. She's super happy, by the way. And she goes, this is like the same day as the first day of school. And she goes, Rose is lovely. I already love her so much. And I'm like, this child she's just loved everywhere she goes, which, don't get me wrong, is amazing because, I mean, she's not a troublemaker. Not yet. She could be. We're not teenagers yet. But she's just loved everywhere she goes. And that makes me feel so good that I did that good a job raising her so far, that she's just so well behaved and people love her. So that was going on with Rose. At the same time, I was dealing with Luke and getting him all figured out with school, and OMG, was that a headache. So not only was I switching Luke from an in-home daycare preschool to the early learning center, at the same time, our school district was changing how they have their students enrolled or registered, so that way they have all their information. So they used to use a program called MyStar, because we're in Michigan, so Michigan Star. Now they're doing Power School or something, I don't know. So they changed it, and we didn't get any of the login information. Like, it was supposed to be done beginning of August. So, like, when I had the last video done for you guys, I should have had the information then to be able to get them registered and have class assignments for Rose and find all of the school supply information, all of that. I should have had all of that between my last video and when I should have had my last video. And I didn't get any of it until like a week before school started. So we're flying blind by the seat of our pants, and I can't stand it. If any of you guys know me, I don't like flying blind or by the seat of my pants. If someone else is in charge of it and is taking the lead, fine. I will follow blindly, because then I can be like, you know what? I wasn't in charge. Hands up. I don't care. It's not my fault. But if it's something that I have to be in charge on, I need to know all of the details. I need to be able to figure out if Plan A does not get executed correctly, what is Plan B? What is Plan C? Do we have a backup plan to these backup plans? Like, I need to have contingency plans, at least semi-formulated in my brain. And I kind of have to have a route for things to go. It just makes it easier for me. So when we're starting school, and it's now, I think, August 20th, and we're just now getting all of our school placement information, I'm like, well, thank God they have the school supply list online, because I was about to have to fight in the store because there was nothing. Luckily, I got them on time. I did all the school shopping. There was a lot to get for both of them because, again, you're going into preschool and second grade, and you need supplies for both of them. That was a lot. It wasn't super expensive, but just making sure I had all of the supplies for both kids and making sure that they were going to be able to be separated between the two kids and nothing was getting crossed over, and I had all of my boxes checked and my T's crossed and my I's dotted. That was a headache. That took a full week, probably. I did all the shopping fast, but then it was just going back over the paperwork to say, okay, Rose has her backpack. Rose has her lunchbox. She has this many pencils. She has erasers. Luke has the box that his stuff's going to be sorted in at school. Like, just going through all of that, it took a week to make sure I had my head screwed on straight. There was so much. And it drove me nuts. Like, I wish I'd had more time than the week and a half, 2 weeks that we had between getting the supply list and school starting. Thankfully, school is started. Rose has all of her supplies at school. Her teacher's where she doesn't have all of her pencils, which is fine because I had to buy a lot of pencils between both the kids. I got 1,000 pencils here. I can send them in later. Fine. They're kids. They're going to go through them. It was just a hassle. So that took up a lot of my stitching time. Didn't get to do a lot. I ended up having, what was it? We were doing a podcast a couple of weeks ago. I think it was like a week and a half ago. We were doing our Harry Potter podcast. We had started on book 2 for A Chamber of Secrets. And I'm stitching on this blanket that I'm working on for my boss. And I go, oh no. And we literally stopped the podcast. We're like in the middle of talking about Harry Potter. And we go, hey, by the way, like, since we're not on camera, like, some of us are busy with our hands, and we just messed up. Brandon just messed up her blanket. And I was like, no. If I had not messed this blanket up, I probably could have met that goal of getting the bottom section done. But because I didn't, I had to rip out a good quarter of the blanket. Of, like, when it was finished, I had to rip out a good quarter of it to be able to fix it. Because I had swapped a row around. So, let me show you guys. Make it easier. So, I don't remember where we were last time, but we were somewhere here, right? So this SNA here, there's this guy, and this guy. They were swapped. So this little black square was here, and this little white square was here. So if you can imagine how that looked. Yeah, it really messed it up. And it wasn't because it was a white square that was supposed to be where black was supposed to be. I couldn't exactly fudge that. The white one I was able to... The black square where the white was supposed to be, I was able to wrap around that and fix it. But then when I saw the black square was messed up, I was like, we're done. We just gotta rip it out. It didn't take me too long to get back on track. Long enough that it was still an annoyance and took up some time. And then weaving in ends. So if anyone's knit or crochet, working with yarn, there's so many ends to weave in. And that's like my biggest complaint is I hate sitting there weaving in the ends. And the ends get in my way. But it looks good at the end. So you saw pretty much where we were last time. So, away. Finds a way. So if I bring this, it's so long now. So I'm working on the and I just did my comma here, and we're going to start the E on life. So I don't have much longer to go. Probably about 3/4 of it done. And then I'll have life finds a way. And I'll have to stand up next time to show you because this thing is getting ridiculous. I can't hold it up straight. Sitting down, I can't even hold it up straight. Hold on. Ah. Hold on. Kind of. There we go. Yep. All right. There you go. There's where we at. So, life finds a way. Not quite done with it. But did make a decent amount of progress on it. So that's pretty good. So, yeah. And I probably would have actually had my goals done, except Mother Nature is a beast. Saturday night, so I started, if you remember me talking about it a couple weeks ago, I ended up starting down this ADHD road to figure out if I actually was ADHD, ADD, because I was getting very irrationally angry. Like, my kids would do something stupid. They do kid things. My daughter would ask me a question, 2 minutes later turn around and ask me the same thing in a different form, and I would almost violently blow up on her. And I'm like, I'm not being that parent. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be that person, because I was born in the 90s. That was how it was for us. My mom, I love her to death, and my dad, I love him to death. They were those kind of parents. They yelled a lot, and I didn't like it. I did not like being yelled at. I did not like being reprimanded, so I didn't want to put my children through that. So I tried very hard to not. So when I started to become irrationally angry and I could feel myself slipping towards that, hey, we're getting mad about things that we shouldn't be getting mad about, like irrationally angry about something that we shouldn't be that angry about. We can be annoyed, that's fine, but we're getting irrationally angry. So that's what started my whole journey on this ADHD route. Come to find out that, yeah, it's ADHD, kind of tied in with PMS, which, I'm a woman. That's pretty much how it goes. On the medication, it is better. Well controlled throughout most of the month, but when my monthly cycle is here, PMS kind of takes over, and my medication doesn't work quite as well, so I am a little bit more distracted, which is kind of getting better, but my emotions are still not 100% under control during my hormonal fluctuations. So we were playing cards with my husband's family. And we do it every Saturday. And I know how everyone is. Some of us are sore winners. Some of us are sore losers. We like to make jokes and play around. And that's just how we are, which is fine. And normally I can deal with it. I can kind of look at Mitchell and be like, all right, we might be hitting a little too high or a little bit too hard. Like, it's going too far. We need to kind of back it back down. Well, they weren't even being sore winners. They were being very chill, very calm. And the games we were playing, I just was doing the absolute worst. Like, if this was a dice rolling game, like D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, where you roll dice every single game, it was a nat 1. It was a critical fail. It was so frustrating. And then I was, like, Mitchell was trying to make a joke out of it, because the one game we have to draw, like, the cards are all spread on the table, and then you, like, draw from there for your hand, because it's called Hand and Foot. I don't know if anyone else knows this game. So we were drawing the cards, and Mitchell kept getting, like, really good wild cards over on his side of the table. So I was like, you know what, let me just see if I can get a little bit of luck and grab cards from there on my next hand. And he was like, hey, that's my side of the table. And you could tell by his voice and his face that he was being funny. He wasn't being mad. He was trying to make me smile, and he was joking with me. And I'm like, don't. Like, I literally walked away, texted him, and I went, I appreciate it, but my hormones are not. My hormones are pissed. I was so frustrated that literally every single game for me was a crit fail, that I ended up being a little over emotional and crying a little bit. So that kind of ruined the end of my night, because I wanted to chill out and I wanted to crochet or I wanted to cross stitch, but I also knew that I was probably going to get frustrated at the hooks or the needles not working, and then I was going to get frustrated at the project. And I was like, I don't want to get frustrated at the project, but that is supposed to be chilling me out. Also, those hooks are freaking cool. I don't want to risk breaking them in my anger. So that was why I didn't get all of my stitching done for August with the Kiss of the Wolves, because I had gotten most of it done while my son was napping, and then I probably, if I'd been in a better mood, I would have been able to do the last 60-some stitches after he went to bed and card games were done. But I was afraid. I was already mad. I was like, I'm working on a project that makes me mad. This is not going to go well, so we're just gonna let it go. So there's that. So I made 2 out of 3 goals. We're gonna definitely get the Life Finds a Way section of the blanket done. I'm gonna try and get that done this week and start on the next section before our next video in 2 weeks, which now that school's in session should be easier, that I can get to do the video every 2 weeks, because I usually record these on Tuesdays. My son doesn't go to preschool on Tuesdays, so I should be home most of those days, and I will be able to record it while he is napping, which is great. So there should be no more excuses for the rest of the calendar year. So I want to get that section of the blanket done. September. It's September. What are our September WIPGO numbers? So I don't remember the exact numbers that got called, but I know for me, it called for Envy, this 7 Deadly Sin, which I don't like snakes. Ring's not my favorite, but there's just something about her. Also, Completionist, had to have the whole set. So my goal is to do 500 stitches on her, which I think is unfair because she's the 7 Deadly Sin that has the most stitches. So I probably need to put the other ones on there and get more stitches done on them for next year and put Envy to the back burner a little bit. So she needs to come out this month and get 500 stitches done. And my other, my other favorite girl needs to come out, and she is supposed to get 400 stitches. So Songs Under the Cherry Tree. This one is by Chris Ortega. 7 Deadly Sins, Envy, that was by Marta Dahlig, if I said that correctly. I will put all of that information in the description box below, along with their HAED links, because these are both Heaven and Earth designs. I'll put their HAED links down as well in case you guys want them, if they still have them available. This one I'm super excited for. I only told myself I only put down 400 stitches for her because I wasn't really thinking about what I wanted to get done. I was just trying to be like, let's touch on everything and, you know, what's a reasonable amount of stitches. So I kind of plugged it all in randomly this year because it was my first year, and like I've said many times, I was planning that I was going to do WIPGO at the same time as one of the cross stitch challenge Facebook groups, and that hasn't worked. I gave up on that one. So my WIPGO call numbers are probably a little lower than what most people would do, so I'm definitely going to take that into account when I set it up for 2025, which, holy cow, we're already thinking about 2025. Can't believe that. So yeah, Songs Under the Cherry Tree. We're going to get 400 stitches done on that. That's my WIPGO. I don't know if anything's going to get a bingo, but that's where we're at. We'll see where we go. If we get a bingo, the bingos themselves, I will still be fine with because that's like a $5 or $10 thing, but I cannot get the blackout reward anymore, which I had been debating about starting the epic Pokemon, so literally all 1,000 some odd crazy number of Pokemon on one chart. It's like 4 4 PDF files, and each PDF file is like 90 pages or 30 pages. It's it's huge. The fabric is huge, and I haven't bought it, but that was my thought, was I was going to start that regardless if I did my blackout bingo. Now I can't, so we'll see. We'll get my little bingos for non-blackout, just my regular corner to corner 5-in-a-row bingo, and then go from there. And then the only other thing I've got is just a tiny little bit of haul. So if you guys remember from earlier this year, I did used to get the Black Needle Society subscription box. I'm still on their email letters. Finances are just tight and I can't do the box anymore. But, so I still get the emails. Last year, we helped out a school in Topping, Kansas or Missouri? Somewhere in the Midwest to South area. If you're part of Black Needle Society, you know what school it is. It's one of the employees works there. She's also a teacher. And it's one of the lower funded schools. So they don't get as much funding from the government. So they had asked, hey, we've got this chart. If you make a donation, a purchase from our Amazon wish list and donate it to us, show us proof, we'll send you this chart. Last year it was Schoolhouse Rock, which we all grew up with in the 90s, so I was like, heck yes, please. This year, they did it again, but with Magic School Bus. And I was like, all right, I'm not starting it, but I'll get the pattern. So I've got the pattern. It just went live yesterday, or a couple days ago, is when it officially went live. So everyone who got to start with this in the middle with the take chances, make mistakes, get messy, and the bus. So I've got the chart because this is the only time you could get the chart is when they're doing this Amazon wish list and this run of it. So it's like 8 weeks or something like that. So that's the only time you can get this chart. So I didn't want to lose the chance for it. So I bought something off the wish list. I donated it. And now I have it. So I'll start it eventually, just not right now. I want to get some other things finished first. So that is that. And then last time, I promised you guys that I would show you what my last WIPGO bingo reward was. So I said I got 2 crochet hooks. They were final sale. So if you remember previously, I had the Polaris and Andromeda colorway hooks from Furls Fiber Arts or Furls Crochet. I also got, this is called Moonlight. So it's black up here, solid black, and then glittery clear at the bottom. So pretty. I love it. And the other one that I had been originally debating about getting when I first got these hooks is called Jupiter. And I'm so glad. Like, just look at that. It's peachy and sparkly coppery gold, and oh, it's gorgeous. So I got this one in the J, so I can use this when I'm making my scrubbies. And then my Moonlight one, this is in an I, so I don't know what I'm going to use, what I can use this size for, but I'm sure I'll find something in between what I'm using for my blanket and what I use for my scrubbies. So I've got another one on the way. It's supposed to be shipping out today that me and my husband decided I could get because he wanted one of his fancy new limited edition cups from one of his places, Gamer Subs. That's what, Gamer Subs. So he wanted one of those fancy new cups, and he's like, hey, you can get this for me for Christmas. And I was like, well, funnily enough, I thought you were going to ask if you could get it, and I was going to say, yeah, sure, but I want this new crochet hook. It's called Fjord. I don't have a picture saved of it, but if you go search it, it's from Furls Fiber Arts, or Furls Crochet Resin Streamline Hooks. It's called Fjord, Fjord, and it's white and green and blue, and it's supposed to look like the water in the Norwegian fjords, or like, because that's where fjords mostly are, and I was just like, oh, this is gorgeous. I love it. So he was asking if you could, he was like, hey, you can get this cup for me for Christmas, and then when I was like, oh, I thought you wanted it now, and I was going to say, yeah, sure, but I want this crochet hook, so we're like, all right, you get your cup, I'll get my crochet hook, done. So that's supposed to ship out today, and I should have that in time to show you guys next time, which is super exciting. So that's what I've got. I don't think I did any work on the Supernatural card. I have found my paint, if I didn't tell you guys that last time. I've just been trying to get my blanket done, not my blanket, but the baby blanket done, and my cross stitching done. I've been trying to stay on top of those, so I haven't been working on the Supernatural car as much as I should, which my son's sleeping, and now that my kids are in school most of the week, because my son only goes a few days, I should hopefully be able to get a lot more done. The only thing I did do was I did finish the Titanic. Titanic got her 4th funnel. I know, you're saying, where's the 4th funnel? Well, I can't attach it yet until the whole thing's done, but I can show you. Got it down here. So, 4th funnel. So I forgot about this goal, because I didn't have it written down. So we got this one done. So 3 out of 4 goals, that's not bad. So we got our 4th funnel. And then you can see back here is where she starts to narrow down, because this is going to be the stern of the ship. I'm doing this off camera and you can't even see it. So this is going to be the stern of the ship. And here you can see is the electric turbine that will power the propellers. It's not really electric, but on the Titanic, this was an electric turbine. So there's that. We've got more cabins up here. If you can hear that weird noise, my cat is behind me, behind the camera actually, snuggling on the couch waiting for me to get done, and she was just itching, and she itches pretty aggressively. So if you just heard that, she was just itching her face. So one of these 2 spots, usually where she's itchy. So apologies for that. Everything's fine. But Titanic, there we are. More staterooms, Parisian cafe. Our promenades here and here. So that's where we're at. And then we've got more lifeboats. I know, not enough. So we got that. She'll get attached when the back of the ship is done. So I'm on the last section-ish. Let's set her down gently. So I got her done. And then that same day at D&D, I did this. So it is the bottom of the ship. So this, obviously, we have 2 of our propellers. And yes, they spin. They attach up here and they will spin. The 3rd propeller will go here, but I got to get a little higher up so we can build around it. And then that one will go here and that one will also spin. So this is what we've got currently. We haven't had D&D for a few weeks. One of our friends is assisting in a wedding. None of our friends are getting married. We're all married. But one of our friends, I think, is a groomsman or a best man or something in the wedding. Or if he's not in the wedding, he knows the bride and groom very well, so he's kind of been helping them with that. So he's had to take off time for the wedding, which has also been affecting me, which I'll come back to that. But Titanic. So that's where we're at right now. Whoop. So that all happened between the last time I saw you guys and now. So actually, probably right after I did my last video, we got a last minute invitation in the mail to said wedding, because Mitchell knows the groom through one of our D&D friends, funnily enough, and playing video games. He's just got a whole social life. It's so popular, just like my daughter. So we ended up getting a last minute invitation to this wedding. And I say last minute because it was like 4 weeks out. And as a vet tech, my hospital does our schedules 6 weeks out, so we can have the technicians, at least, on the schedule, so we know how many surgeries can we do for the doctor. Do we have enough staff to do surgeries? Do we have 2 doctors that day? Do we have enough staff to support 2 doctors that day and then have both doctors do surgery? Do we have technicians that can then do their own rooms and do those CVTO technician comprehensive exams that I was telling you guys about last time? So we have to have our schedules out 6 weeks in advance. We got this invitation when I was off, taking care of my kids while their grandparents were on vacation. So I had to wait until I go back into work the following week. And I think I had to wait a day or 2 to talk to my manager, be like, hey, we got this invitation to a wedding. It's in 4 weeks. It's the Saturday I'm supposed to work. Like, am I doing appointments that day? Like, because I was supposed to count our quarterly inventory for them. I was like, or can I just, like, do the inventory and go home? Like, what's the plan here? And luckily I didn't have that much scheduled for the afternoon. So she said, yeah, that's fine. Like, what time's the wedding? It's at 5. I would want to leave here by 3:30 at the latest to make sure I've got time to get home and get ready because I don't live far from work and the wedding's not super far from here. And she goes, just leave at 3. And then I think I'm actually leaving at 2 that day, which is even better. So that was a thing, which that was fine. But then I had to buy a dress. Now, everyone's looking at the dress I bought and thinking, holy cow, are you standing in the wedding? No, it's just apparently a very formal wedding. They said a formal gown, floor length or midi length. And everything I have is teen length or higher. Knee length. Just above my knee. So I had to buy a dress. And the one I wanted was beautiful, but I thought it might be too flashy. Well, luckily I know my friend knows the bride and groom really well, so he was able to confirm, no, it should be fine. She said dress to impress on the invite, so you should be fine. We think you're gonna look amazing. Get the dress. Well, then I got the dress, and it's chiffon, and it fits, but it's long. And I'm not exactly short for a woman. I'm 5'4", so I'm kind of average, I feel like. And this dress was a little long in the front, so I had to figure out a way to have it hemmed, and it's coming up. I had the dress on Tuesday last week, and the wedding is Saturday this week on the 7th. So luckily, one of my other friends, her mom is big into sewing, and I was like, hey, like I wasn't asking them to do it, but I was like, do you know any way that I can do this? Like, that's going to be easy. And of course it's chiffon. It's very thin. It's very delicate. It's going to be a hassle. I was like, what's the easiest way I can do this at home? I'm like, if I have to take it to a tailor, I will. But like, I've got a wedding in like a week and a half that I need to wear this to, and it's on grass, and I'd rather not step on it and destroy this hem. I'm like, I'll do what I have to do. It is what it is. It's wedding's not that far off, so I'm like, I have to do what I have to do. And her mom, my friend's mom, actually ended up being like, just, yeah, we'll meet up, we'll get it situated where it needs to be, we'll have it tried on, and then I'll alter it for you. And I was like, God bless you. And then this woman wants to do it for no charge. And I'm like, woman, I'm sure I would have paid like a buttload of money. I don't even know, because the last time I had to get a dress hemmed was freaking 4 years ago, and that was only like $50 because it was just a little big and it wasn't even that much and there was time. So, like, I don't even know how much I would have had to pay to have this dress hemmed in a week. Ridiculous amount. And then she didn't want any money. I'm like, no. And you told me you would have it done by, like, 3 days from now. Like, so she had the weekend off, a long weekend. I went over on Saturday and had her kind of clip it where it needs to be. And she's like, yeah, I'll have it done by, like, Monday or Tuesday, because I have to head out this way to pick up my son, whatever. She had it done the next day. Like, less than 24 hours, she had this dress done. And I'm like, you are freaking amazing. And then she still didn't want the money. And then, like, I handed it to her. She goes, oh, this is too much. I'm like, no, you're a freaking miracle worker. You offered to hem this dress for me, and then you did it in 24 hours. Like, thank you so much. Like, you're getting this money. I'm amazed. So I'll get pictures of the dress and pictures of the wedding and things, and I'll put up a couple of those when we come back and do our video next time. So hopefully now that the wedding will be done, school's in session, I can get stuff done. I can hopefully now get more done on Titanic now that we've had to cancel D&D a lot because of the wedding, because they've had to help out with it. So hopefully now next week we'll have D&D. I can get more on the Titanic done. I'm hoping I can get my stitching goals done fast, so that way I can then focus on getting the blanket done. And I gotta figure out how I'm gonna work all this out, because I'm taking some projects with me when my daughter goes to gymnastics on Mondays, and when I'm at work for a full day and I get an hour lunch, I will take a project there and work on it. But it's like, what do I want to take and work on? What's gonna be the easiest? I don't have to take a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to go figure that out. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I promise it'll be 2 weeks this time. And we'll see where did I get to? How much of my goals did I get done? And then we'll see where the school year takes us from there. So this has been Brandy Wine Stitches. Keep stitching, and we'll see you guys next time.